Hello, and welcome to Old World Tech Fridays, Sunday edition.
Yes.
Read all about it.
I heard this podcast slam into my front door at 5:30 this morning.
The
Unfortunately,
ink is still wet on my hands.
Mine didn't get delivered. Something came out of the gutter and grabbed the paperboy and pulled him in.
Nice.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Did it have a
Yes.
red balloon?
No, it was like a big green hand.
We all
Oh,
read the
that's
circular
worse.
down here.
I like
How
the
are
two,
you all this
two
evening?
worlds crashing. It and Paperboy, the video game.
Things are good.
Yes.
Things are good. Are we going to
Things
talk about Eric? Eric's
Yes.
What about Eric?
recent renovation?
Yeah.
Who's
he looks
this
like-
Eric's person you're speaking of?
Yes. Yes.
That's evil Eric, like evil Spock.
No, it's Eric, but this is the photo he's going to use on Wikipedia.
Right.
I was going for Garth, and I missed.
Oh,
Wow.
Well, you kind of got the
was
flu.
close though.
I got
That was close, though.
nice.
Yeah.
Hold on.
What is the pompadour?
Got to garth it up a bit here.
You girth it up a bit.
There we
Hold
go.
on, I'll do it. Oh wait, I can't.
Yeah.
You can, but it's
Too-
back
too
there.
late.
Yes,
Too late.
You just pull it forward.
How is everyone this evening?
We're doing great. The Midwest is quite cold
Frigid.
tonight.
It's pretty chilly up here in the Northeast.
Mhm.
We
Yeah,
just-
as well as the upper Midwest.
Yes.
It's almost like it's winter.
Yes,
Uh,
the high today was 22.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
22. That's great. That's great.
I know. Well, hold on. Fahrenheit.
Oh, of course. You and
Yeah.
your weird,
Freedom
not-
degrees.
Yeah.
not proper temperature system.
Right. Yeah.
What is it Grandpa
It's
Simpson
everybody.
says?
Yep.
It's 3 logs to the hog's head, and that's the way I likes it.
That's right. Rods.
Rods. That's it. Yeah.
Rods. 3 rods to the hog's
Hog's
head.
head. Yeah.
Yep.
The high today was 19, it says. Here.
Ouch.
Ooh, that's
Yeah,
cold.
it's chilly. What makes it worse is the wind. This year has been awful windy.
And the
Mhm.
humidity, I hear.
Yes, yes.
We call that the wind chill here in Canada.
I don't like it.
hmm
I'm not a fan. I'm gonna have to move to warmer weather or turn these computers on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you just gotta turn on one Power Mac G5,
Yes.
and that's a space heater. It's 1,500
The
watts.
the amount of computers I have in this shed, if I turned them all on, I could crack the door and melt all the snow in my yard. I
See,
bet.
I have visions, Frank, where you turn on all your computers, and then about 6-7 days later, the cops come and do a raid. 'cause
Yes.
the power
Thinking
company
we have a
says you
grow
can't go
house.
out.
Yes.
Well, they think that Frank opened a data center over there.
That's
He's running
right, that's right.
illegal AI.
I'm running
farm.
AI here.
Yeah.
The what pictured in my mind, what popped in my mind was the scene on National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation where he plugs it in and the rest of the city goes dark.
Yeah.
They have to hurry up and switch the big, huge
Yes.
breaker for the nuclear backup.
So it's funny. We were actually, not to get bogged down with movies as we tend to, but we were talking about this particular scene and how kids today don't understand it because LED light bulbs
Oh
Sure.
yeah,
don't. They're like, why?
Suck down the power.
They don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
They're like, but they're LED. They because they never grow up with having to find the broken bulb.
oh, go through and
Or like-
find out which one's not working.
Kids
One
these
goes
days.
out, the whole set goes out.
And the Murphy's Law of cords, which is any cord
Oh,
next to
goodness.
another cord will never become entangled in that cord for no apparent reason.
100%.
I think the least believable thing for young people about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation is that you could expect to get a Christmas bonus
Yeah.
that would cover the cost of an in-ground pool.
Yes,
Right.
that's
Yes.
right.
And he put a $7,500 deposit down.
Right.
That's a huge
Yeah.
chunk of money.
And I'm
for-
gonna take a
Cool.
step a little outside there and say, for example, what the heck did Kevin McAllister do, or Kevin McAllister's dad do, to
Yeah.
be able
Yeah,
to
no
fly
kidding.
9 people to France at
I know
Christmas?
it
Yeah.
was like the uncle, or I thought
He was
somebody
a drug lord.
had pointed
was-
out that it was like the uncle paid for it or something. The one that was the frugal guy or something. I don't know.
Okay,
the
'cause I
white
don't-
powder in
maybe-
the
maybe
yard
that's
wasn't
wrong.
snow.
because he didn't want to pay for the pizzas, remember? And he had to get a
Right.
checkbook out and write a $100 check.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was it? 35-cent tip. Thanks.
Yeah. Exactly. I
Reminds me of the episode of Alf, Strangers in the Night, where Mrs. Zakmanga is coming and watching the house, and she gives the guy a quarter, and he says, "Oh, thanks, lady. In some states, I can still make a call."
Funny. Actually, I will say the most believable thing about any Christmas movie of all time is when George Bailey says, "Do you not understand how long it would take a man to save up $5,000?" And that is still
Yeah.
true
To this day.
now.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, I will say one of the most realistic things in the world is Hans Gruber falling off the Nakatomi building.
Mm-hmm.
He was pushed.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in the scene, again, not to get bogged down with movies, they didn't tell Alan Rickman that he was going to be dropped. They actually dropped him on 2 instead of dropping him on
Yes.
1.
Yeah.
So that look of
3,
shock in
yeah.
his face, or whatever it was, the look
Yeah.
of shock in his face is actually legitimate.
Yeah. It scared him a bit. Although I
Yep.
will say the falling off a building shot, it will be forever owned by Ronnie Cox and his incredibly long arms in the RoboCop movie.
Yes, correct.
The little
Oh,
Ronnie
gosh.
Cox puppet that it has like arms
Super
that are
long.
like twice as long as a regular. Somebody went through actually just recently in the last couple of months. They redid that effect shot and like shortened the arms.
Is
Good.
RoboCop
That's
a Christmas
hilarious.
movie?
Yes, it is.
It is, isn't it? It's the same way Die Hard is a Christmas movie. It takes place
Mhm.
around Christmas time, right?
I think
Yeah.
you're thinking of Turbo Man.
Oh, that is a Christmas movie.
That's Jingle All.
That's true. That's
Yeah.
true. Jingle All the Way. That was the name of the
Mhm.
movie.
Yeah,
Correct.
they tipped it. They tipped it that it was a Christmas movie right there in the title.
Yeah. And Arnold Schwarzenegger, of course.
It could have been about saving change. I don't know.
It
A lot of things jingle.
I guess you're
Could have
right.
been a March of Dimes campaign. I don't know.
Oh my gosh, very possibly.
Could be UNICEF at Halloween.
Yes,
that's
trick
another
or
one.
treat. Trick or
Yeah,
treat
that's
for
another one.
UNICEF.
Do
So
kids still do that? Sorry, again, not
You
to get bogged
can.
down.
You
Do they
can
still do that?
still.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
haven't seen it in
Mhm.
years.
I haven't seen it.
Yep.
Yeah, I
So
remember
they used
doing
to
it
give
when
you
I was
little
in
cardboard boxes.
Mhm.
I remember doing it when I was in like grade school back in the mid early 90s.
Mhm.
But yeah, I haven't seen it in forever.
Me
Although
neither.
we don't get as many kids anymore. I don't know if it's the aging population or if it's the
Mhm.
parents afraid of everything.
No,
but yeah,
they
Uh,
typically go to parties
Yeah.
or they travel to posh neighborhoods and
Roads,
hit
yeah.
them.
Mhm.
But see,
Yeah.
somebody did a study. The posh neighborhoods, while you get a larger item at the door potentially,
Mhm.
the distance between houses is less
Yes.
efficient.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Better
So
true.
it actually works out that what you want to do is upper middle class, where the houses are closer together. There are well lit sidewalks because
Yeah.
of the tax bracket,
Mhm.
and you tend to get more volume of candy.
I put together bags for my neighbor kids
Yeah.
mhm.
because they're the only ones that ever show up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
one extra bag in case a friend is with them.
Now,
Yeah.
question,
Yeah, that's a
Eric,
good idea.
how many of the bags did you eat?
Well, I'm still working on them.
Mhm.
So, but I put in,
um,
I asked them what they wanted. So, one of them's, oh, I really like the fun dip stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay, the toxic powder with the stick. And so I bought a crap load of that, gave them bags of it.
So technology related, how it
Yeah.
ties
Oh, yeah,
into our
yeah.
conversation.
What are we doing
We're
here?
getting there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting there.
When you see the Salvation Army bell ringers, they actually have QR codes now for donations because people
Ours
don't
have
carry
tap.
cash with them.
Ours
Mhm.
have tap.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
you
can
can do
literally
that.
walk
Yep.
up with your phone and just doop, or
You
your,
could
de-
do-
your
you could
debit
do
Or
that.
even just walk by and
Yeah,
they'll
or
just
That's right.
automatically.
Yeah. It's like the pranks you hear with that Apple Pay where they walk up to people at the grocery store and
Yeah.
it
Yep.
dings.
Yep.
And then they're all confused.
Mhm.
Yeah, like Joe says, ours have tap things. Yeah, ours do too. I think it's interesting how they've evolved to our current ecosystem because
My-
hardly anyone has cash on them anymore. It's
Well,
all card or
we did the same
digital.
thing at the church. I work with the Catholic
Oh,
church
no
here,
kidding.
here
Tap
in
the basket.
we don't have the basket during mass anymore, but we have
how does that
area.
work with the envelopes they give you to mail in?
You still can use your envelopes and put cash
Still
in
get
if
the
you feel.
envelopes?
Yeah,
if
you
want.
just put the
Well,
card directly in
You
the
put your
envelope.
yeah, let them charge
and
it. Yeah.
then when the basket on a pole comes down.
Who is this mystery man?
This is Barrick.
Yes.
So anyway, on to our topic of
Topic du
conversation
jour.
today.
Yeah.
Starbucks. It's very
Yeah.
interesting.
Actually, I think if I'm just going through the notes here, I got really excited because, as everybody knows, not only am I into retro computers, I'm also into cars. So when I found out that the conversation this evening was going to be on the new Subaru Legacy, I got very excited.
Yes.
What? It's not the Subaru
very
Legacy?
excited.
No, it's a different Legacy.
Oh, well, there goes all my research.
I know. It's unfortunate.
All
Although
week.
I would love a Subaru if somebody just wants to just go ahead and mail me one.
I'll fax you one.
Thank you.
You know what I'll do? I'll put your copy of Zoom. I'll put your copy of Zoom in the Subaru and send it down to you.
Ah, that's perfect.
Yeah, is it Zoom? I can't remember the game. Is it?
It's Loom.
Loom. Sorry, yes,
Loom.
Sorry.
Do not send me a copy of Zoom. I get enough of those at work already.
Zoom beanies.
Ryan, was that your kitchen earlier with all the parts on the counter?
Kitchen was where?
I don't know.
Kitchen. I'm confused now.
Speaking of, do you not put your Wi-Fi cameras on the internet?
Yeah.
No, just kidding. It's a good segue. Don't put your cameras
Facebook.
on the internet.
On Facebook. Did I post a picture today? I don't remember posting pictures today.
Not that you know of.
Not that I know of.
AI did it for you. Don't worry about it.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, cool. Thank you, Alexa.
Yes.
Anyway,
chronicling your life.
The actual discussion this evening is on legacy and on specifically our hobby in relations to legacies. So yeah, it's as much as we all don't want to think about dying, someday we will, because like there's taxes, there's always death.
So two things in life are certain. Yeah,
taxes and death, and one will pre-exist the other. Yeah, so I don't know if you guys did any reading or thoughts on legacy, and I guess depending on where you are in the world. I mean, we're not lawyers, so don't take this at all with any sort of, that we're knowledgeable in any real way of any of this. It's just some of the stuff that we've done some research on, and some of the stuff we've thought about as a group. Death, taxes, and
data loss. That's a perfect one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have the three horsemen of the inevitable.
Yeah. I have had a conversation with my daughter, my eldest daughter.
Yeah.
About this, and she said dumpster.
Yeah.
You make arrangements or it hits a dumpster.
Right.
Yeah.
My wife and I were talking about this recently, and that's what I told her. Like, she doesn't know what any of this stuff is or what it does or anything or values or any of that kind of stuff. And she said, to be honest, I don't think I'd want somebody to move your stuff. Like, I think I'd just leave it exactly how you left it. And like, it'd be too hard for her to get rid of because it's such a big part of, who I am and what I like and enjoy and stuff. It'd be difficult. So I think for some people that would be an issue as well and something you got to figure out.
Frank, when you were saying that, I had visions of like, I've been watching some stories recently about people who have died and they were never found. So they were, they were like, one lady was like 19 years, I think, before somebody found her body. Her in her apartment was a perfectly preserved, like 1960s time capsule. That's what I envisioned. I envisioned that like one day, your wife just closed the door on the shed, and then like 30 years in the future, somebody opened it up and went, "Holy God!"
I'm gonna have to tattoo remove the batteries on my arm.
Yeah.
Please make sure all the batteries are out of everything.
And you remember remember Sky Captain in the World of Tomorrow? At the very end, not to ruin
one of my
movie,
favorites.
If anybody hasn't seen the movie, but the man is dead and he sat at his, the console. That'll be you. You'll just be there in the chair.
Yes, exactly.
Mummified.
That's right.
I think Ron has had some experience over the last few years helping people with just this kind of situation.
Yes, as a matter of fact, there's I seem to be a point of contact with a lot of higher education and secondary ed people where people will just reach out and they'll be like, dad is passed or mom is retiring and doesn't know what to do with this stuff or whatever. And I always ask people what their goals are. Like, what do you want to do with this? Is this a situation where you have a bunch of stuff and you just don't know what to do with it? Are you trying to sell things? Are you trying to give things away? Is this like a legacy thing where it's like, mom was a teacher for 40 years, and it's her classroom machines, and we just want to, back from an era when teachers would just take that stuff home because it was just it's old and we're just getting rid of it, so it goes in the trash because there was no such thing as e-cycling.
Right.
Does it go in the trash, or does it just go in your attic at home? And for a lot of people, that's a lot of educators, that's just what happened, because it was like, this was the old classroom computer and it got replaced a million times, but it hung around as long as they could keep it up and running. And so, but no, there's a lot of people that have reached out to me over the years that have just said, hey, what do we do? Because we, didn't get any guidance, or mom has now got other things on her mind, and we're just helping her clean things out. So
for sure.
Expectations can go multiple ways too. Somebody could say, hey, I heard some of these Apple One boards went for millions. Ma'am, that's an Apple IIe.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's I think a lot of it too is, especially if people elect that they want to sell something, it's about tempering expectations.
For sure.
Because I think that a lot of people just in the hobby in general, outside of the legacy sort of conversation, think that things are worth a lot more than what they really are, just because it's like, it might be rare, but if it's at this point, if it's not restored, that is a very different price than something that has just been a barn find.
Yeah.
So,
and I often I say that to people when they contact me as well. Like, they're like, oh, I have this thing, and I'm like, okay, cool. When was the last time it turned on? When was the last time anybody used it? Oh, it's been decades. It's been in the attic. Yeah. Well, realistically, it could stay in the attic, and it's not worth anything to anybody. But if someone takes it and restores it, does a bunch of work to it, then it has some intrinsic value. Then, but until that's done, what do you want to do with it? And oftentimes people will just say, you know what, I just want it gone, because they don't care, right?
Especially I want it out of here.
Yeah, especially if it's like they're on a time crunch, or they're trying to, sort out a larger estate, and an Apple II is not the same. There's no value there compared to that of a house, or a piece of property, or a car. Right.
People with a lot of bills, though, definitely want to make sure that they get as much as they can get for whatever it is. But just like was just put in chat, there's a lot of people that have watched all of those antique shows, and they a lot of those things, and don't understand. They went on eBay and just searched for it, and just they saw the highest price, and that was kind of what they wanted.
They saw a polka dot screen and thought, that's what the value is, right?
So
sure. And I guess it's when it comes to, there's sort of a two part to this discussion. It's what you as a person want to define your legacy or your goals.
Sure.
But then it's also, if you don't do that, what does the other person who's left want to define as your legacy and your goals? Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if you're dead, you don't really have much of a say unless you preemptively done some work.
Yeah. And that's the important thing about making sure that people know what your goals are and what your wishes are. It doesn't mean that they're necessarily going to be able to fulfill that, but it probably makes, like, I would not burden your loved ones with the idea that it's like, well, I need this to go to this person, I need this to go to this person, I need this to go to this person, and expect them to just like somehow put a bunch of things in the mail and send it to people and have it arrive in decent shape. You probably need to elect somebody that your family will recognize as like an executor of your collection or something. And that doesn't even
somebody
need
who
to
knows.
be, somebody who is knowledgeable in the topic, that is probably going to be around. Yeah, exactly. Probably going to be around to be able to assist them.
More importantly, somebody who actually knows how to ship the things that we own.
Yeah.
And that'd be the biggest thing.
Or if it's a thing where it's like, hey, if so-and-so, I'd really like them. Here's the deal. Let me explain something. As somebody who has had several, like, my mother passed away in February of 2024. My uncle passed away in just 3 months ago. but they were cognizant, and it wasn't just like one day something happened and they were gone.
Yeah.
They had time to think about that. So it's like, if you can ask them, and especially like when we got her diagnosis, I was like, you need to now shift into, if there's somebody that you want to have something, you need to contact them now while you still can, and then we'll make arrangements from there. And if they want it, tell them to just come pick it up. And guess what? And while you're still here, you'll get the joy of seeing them have a nice thing, and you'll know that it just gets to continue on with them, because she had a lot of collectibles, and she had a lot of knickknacks and papers and pictures and stuff. And it was like, but it's like, I want to make sure that so-and-so, this machine, it was like they helped me restore it or something like that. It's like, perfect. You're still here. Make those decisions now.
Yeah.
Not only that, but like items that belong to other people is a big one.
Oh,
how do you identify things that belong to other people?
Start
and
labeling
get them to
things.
those people.
Yeah. A roll of blue painter's tape is like $4. A magic marker is like $1. That $5 could absolutely save a lot of time and trouble later, because there's been people in the Apple II community that have passed away that had huge collections of stuff, and they had people that were had sent them things on loan for documentation, or sent them things on loan for reverse engineering or repair, and then those people passed away suddenly. And now you have people that live that you have no relationship with, other than just, it's my word that I sent somebody a thing. That, for them to then try to figure that out. And there will be people, if you're a known person, and you have not made a plan, there will be people that will come in and will try to take advantage of that. And that's exactly what happened to a couple of people in the Apple II community. That people just came in and bought other people's prototypes. They bought other people's one-of-a-kind pieces of equipment. And then when the community leaders were able to come in to try to like help the family figure things out, at that point, they were so emotionally worn out. They were so tired of people coming to them with their hand out. They basically were like, doesn't matter what's here. If it is not gone by X amount at such a noon on Tuesday, it all goes in a tip. So it's now people are frustrated, and they're running, and they're trying to do those things. Don't put everybody through that. Make a plan.
Well, not only that too, but how many of us like I mean, my wife's seen quite a few of you and stuff like that, from streams and me talking stuff. But let's say that I died and I had something that belonged to one of you. Like, how do you know how to reach out to my family, or let's say my kids are older or whatever. They have no idea who anybody is, or if they just made up that they gave you that, they have no idea.
Right.
So we got to figure out some way, universally, like you said, with the blue tape or whatever, this belongs to so-and-so. Here's their number, put their number on it.
Yeah. It doesn't cost anything for you to set up a Google sheet. And that's honestly, and that's really what it comes down to too. It's like documenting things, making sure you identify the item, and make sure that you have like whatever the dispensation of that item is going to be. It doesn't take anything to set up a Google sheet just to say, if it's and you don't have to maybe even say individual things. Like you don't have to make those big decisions. You can just say, hey, if for this, contact Joe, or contact Steve, or contact Eric, and say, and they'll help you figure out how to take it from here.
But there is a point though, and this is true of anything else. We all have accounts with various things, all that. You have somebody who has access to those, so they can close them out and stuff. If you've got a Google spreadsheet, and you die, and nobody can get into your Google account,
Joe, don't contact me. I don't remember shit.
I actually have I'm a big proponent of a piece of software called Bitwarden. Bitwarden is a password manager, but one of the nice things about it is it's encrypted on your own device. You're not having to worry about it being on a server anywhere. There's no, it's just point to point. But the really nice thing about it is they provide you a if you die contact. So in the event that you die, they will provide your master password to your next of kin.
That's similar to Apple account. Now it lets you put a legacy contact in.
Yeah.
So if you die, you know, at least they can contact Apple and they're like, oh yeah, here, I'll verify your information. Here's access to their, you know, their
Keychain.
iCloud or devices or whatever, which is fantastic.
But a lot of people don't set the, like, you know, and I always say this too to people, they don't even set up the emergency contact on their phone, right? So I highly recommend that everybody set up the emergency contact on your phone and look at a piece of software like Bitwarden or any of the other password managers that provide a legacy or end of life, you know, transfer of ownership.
Well, whoever your appointed person is with Google Sheets and Google Docs, you know, like attach them as a person on your Google Doc or something, you know, that way if something happens, at least they'll have access to your list of things or your wishes or whatever, so that if they reached out to your family, you know,
you can also take that Google Doc and print it out on a dead tree.
Yes.
In which case, then you can give to a relative for
put with your special papers, you know, and your birth certificate.
You can actually then take that stuff and go to a larger facility that has little tiny containers. When you put a key in, and you can take those containers out.
You know, and I'm just as lazy and guilty as anyone else about, you know, setting up this stuff. And of course, I'm on the tail end of my life, not at the beginning of it. I've only got maybe 70 years left. So
yeah, but we all think we have time.
Well, that's the thing.
Any one of us could pass it any
tomorrow. You know,
humans make plans and God laughs, right?
Yep.
So
what people don't know is that Eric is one of those Benjamin Buttons people.
Yes.
So
he's getting younger.
Well, we could see that today.
Big surprise to my mother, by the way.
But the other thing to do too is obviously you want to make considerations for legal things. You know, you may need to engage a lawyer. You know, obviously, like I said, take all this with a grain of salt. We're not lawyers, we're not legal experts, but you know, if it's something that you really want to make sure happens, involve
that's
a lawyer.
The best way to do it.
Write it down in a will and testament. You know, tell your executor, if it's not your next of kin or your partner or wife or husband, you know, tell whoever that next of kin or that executor is going to be.
Avoid probate. Chris makes
do not involve. If you not involve the state, don't.
Well, along the lines of a lawyer, what they can do also is set up an escrow account for you with money in it to pay for postage or the you know, the cost associated with distributing your stuff or even taking it to one person or whatever. There's ways to set that up so that it's not a burden on your family to try and figure that out as well, going the legal route.
Because ultimately, like Ron said, if you have a prognosis that allows you time to make those decisions, that's fantastic. You get the ability to make sure things go where you want. But you know, if you get hit by a bus, you don't have that luxury. So having it all written down and having it saved, you know, somewhere.
But Chris is right. My Uncle Thumper, he had a problem with his probate, and he had to take these big pills and drink lots of water. So you want to avoid that if you can.
Not to mention the doctor. The doctor was treating him like a Muppet. You know, just putting the hand in there and make him talk. And then so there's some other options too. If you have a really large, like a very large collection, I'm looking at Frank, consider maybe a trust or a museum of some sort would be a good option.
Absolutely.
You know, there are ways to provide your collection for the future generations and to provide educational opportunities for people. Because one thing I always hate about collections is that they tend to be in the hands of one or two people, and nobody gets to experience or see them, right? And you know, we're all at fault for that, but it is nice to see when things are available to the public. And so, you know, depending on where you live, you may be able to start up something like that. You know, if you're in a larger populated area, you know, having a computer museum is probably something that would be beneficial. Smaller areas, obviously, that's going to be harder. So you may need to team up with a museum that already exists, or maybe your local state or provincial museum. I'm not sure how the U.S. works, but like we have a provincial museum here in Newfoundland, which is a couple of different buildings based all across the province, but the main one is here in St. John's. It's a massive building. They do lots of exhibits, and they do take donations of equipment, we'll say, and historical items.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought about I have a mild relationship with a auction place that's in local to me, and I've thought about reaching out to them and saying, hey, got this collection of stuff, whatever, what kind of arrangements could I make with you guys to sell it off if I needed to?
Sure.
And, if that's what you want to do, take it out of your spouse's hands.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They have enough to worry about, I'm sure, with everything else.
Exactly. And like you said, some of these things do have fair, decent value. Especially if they're already in the hands of a collector, and you've already done all the recapping and all the restoration, and they have the upgrades, and they have the they've been cleaned, and they've been stored properly for the last however many years. There is value there.
Had their batteries spayed or neutered.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
definitely.
And on that same note, we have a local retro group here in where I am. I started it, but it's got 2,000 people in it now. There are always people in the community that would be beneficial. It'd be beneficial for them to have a piece of my collection. So I have often, and I'm sure Ron has, and I know actually everybody here has, given things to people. I'm the first to tell you that gatekeeping is the way to destroy a hobby. So anytime I can, alleviate a piece of my collection to somebody else that I don't need to worry about dealing with anymore, or it's something that I've got the benefit out of. I said, okay, I've used this for X number of years, or I'm not really into that anymore, but somebody else is really excited about it. Give it to them now. I don't need to keep it, right?
Yep.
Nonprofits like MO5 and which would welcome them, sure. And you may have some already existing. You have System Source as an example of a museum. What else is down in the States? I'm trying to think now for computer museums.
Other than VCFs, I'm not really sure, to be honest.
Yeah, and so there's another example. You could donate your collection to continue something like VCF. They can use it as a fundraiser, or they can use it as
That is true.
That's why you pass out all those, That's why I passed out all those network cards. Yes, it was definitely not because the box was taking up way too much space in my house. Speaking of which, if you're going to be at VCF Montreal this year, which I still have to buy my airplane ticket to because I haven't done it yet, it's in January, I will also be bringing a large box of giveaways to that. So come find me on the floor and you can have something.
Icicles?
Sure, bicycles. Lots of bicycles.
No, I meant icicles. You're going to hand out icicles?
Well, it's going to be indoors, so probably not a great place to hand out icicles, but maybe in the parking lot.
Yeah, there you go.
Any other thoughts on what, things we should be talking about for legacies? I mean, have any of you guys done any groundwork yourselves, like legally? You've had conversations, but have you done anything legally or?
Yep. I called the dumpster company and I said, "You see the obituary, just come on by."
Well, it's funny because my mother is 85, 86 and downsizing because she's moving in to a mother's apartment with my sister, all that kind of stuff, but it's much less space. And she's like, "Oh, you once expressed in 1978 interest in this item here. Come get it."
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, Mom, I didn't.
That's funny.
But I did end up picking up a few things. Like there's the Miller family spoon that people fought over apparently, and it's in my name from. I'm like, okay, whatever.
I just see this like family fight over a spoon.
Yeah,
I'm sure some families have fought over weirder things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
When my grandparents passed away, when my grandma passed away, like you would not believe all the people that wanted like these terrible pots and pans that were like they were heavy duty steel, and but the bottoms of them were like round.
Oh, that's odd.
Yeah, because they'd been overheated and stuff over
sure
were warped and weird. So and they had like wooden handles and stuff, but I remember the grandparents used these all the time. Okay. So I found out last year where they came from. So I was volunteering at the VFW here in town, and scouts were doing a thing. We were serving dinner, so we're back in the kitchen. They had the exact same pots and pans set there. My grandparents were heavily involved with the VFW in their town. It is very possible that these just either walked home with them or were just like it's some kind of sale or something. I mean, they're not here to ask, and it doesn't really matter.
Every time they had leftovers, they brought them back in that pot and they just kept it.
Yes. So it was like these pots and pans were some sort of thing that were
hilarious.
Like, that the local VFW had, because the one here in our town has the exact same set. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because these things would have been from the 70s or 60s.
They were government issue from Vietnam that was left over, and they sent them to VFW.
They were made out of Agent Orange barrels.
Yes.
old canisters. Yeah, you don't know. That's hilarious.
But people wanted those for some reason, so people have picked the dumbest stuff.
Yeah.
Just don't give them anything to work with.
I inherited the Miller family tractor.
Oh,
at one point when I was in college. It's like I don't think I can drive this on campus. I have no place to park it, and I didn't think about it. I just kind of blurted out and I said, doesn't my cousin whatever have a farm? Can't he use it? And he was like, sure, I'll take it. I should have sold it. Or my brother-in-law didn't say a word, or anything, was like, I could have used that. You didn't tell me until like 2 years ago. And this was a long time ago when I got it. And I'm like, why didn't you say something? You could have had it.
People are weird.
Yeah. It was crazy though. Eric was telling me some other things that like people like after, the extended family, like all kind of moved on and passed on and stuff, that there's a this clock that had been repeatedly passed around from relative to relative, and just everybody was kind of fighting over that. And I was like, Eric, like, why do people care about this clock? And he goes, well, I mean, it's Miller time.
And I don't like Pilsners, so there you go.
A doff of the hat to you, good sir.
That was a good one. That was a good one.
That's funny. So I think we covered most of the ideas that we've talked about previously. One of the things that I think is a nice idea, if you can find the time to do it, is to do a sort of like a visual representation of your collection. Sure. I have one. I have it for my website where I rent stuff to the TV and film industries. So I've kind of got everything up there. But it's often very helpful if people kind of know. I suppose it's a double-edged sword, because then people know what you have, but then, it also helps people who are like, oh, where is that Commodore PET that Ryan had? Oh, it's over there. Or no, it was actually lent to film whatever, XYZ, and they didn't return it. So I do tend to make, I have a system for what's currently in the collection, what's been lent out, so, I mean, that's only more for my own use, but I would see that being kind of helpful for somebody to come after me, maybe. And that's the other thing, too. If you got nobody you can give your stuff to, prop houses will often take whatever you want to give them. So,
what I was going to say is not only that, but like, let's say like you make items, like Ian's one of those ones that makes items that only he makes.
Right.
You should probably find some way to facilitate the transfer of that to somebody, or to make it public to where it's, anybody can make them after you pass or whatever. But that's a weird area that a lot of thought doesn't go into too, is items that you make, or, that you have knowledge of that others don't. Find some way to transfer that knowledge or to share it after your passing. You know,
even software also. You know,
yes.
coming back on top of that, you know, like Eric, adventure. What happens to
Yeah.
adventure?
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, the CD and the game itself, all the sources there.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So everybody that has got a copy of it actually has the original source and everything. So
yeah.
So, and I didn't keep any
awesome.
good notes or anything on development. So you know, there's no value there.
But if you do develop software that is closed source, for anybody who does do closed source development,
software, hardware, any of that,
it's not a bad idea to keep the source code somewhere accessible. Again, potentially in some sort of passworded vault that on the untimely demise, it is released to somebody to be able to be then released either to GitHub automatically or some sort of platform if you just want to give it away, or if it's worth something, maybe then to get it set up to be sold to another company. You know,
some items, I don't know about you guys, but some items I have in safes or safety deposit. So like if you have an Apple One in a safety deposit box, like probably should let somebody know.
Probably just send me the
would
key.
love to keep that. Yeah, the bank would love to keep that.
Put my name on there.
Yeah, exactly. Because there's things we forget about.
Oh,
you know,
100%. I mean, I clean out my retro room every couple of months, and I find stuff like, oh, I totally forgot I had that.
Well, that happened to me the other day. I found a bag of stuff, and I was talking to Ron, and I was like, you know, I don't know where this came from. I don't remember buying it. I have no idea what it is. The board wasn't labeled very well. It was like, well, eventually I'll come back to it, and I'll remember, or it'll just sit there. I don't know.
I mean, I was digging through my retro room there the other day, and I found this weird little like hand, about that big, and it was funny. I was thinking in my mind, I would love a sandwich, and surprisingly, a sandwich just appeared.
It just ran off and got one.
The turkey was a little dry though.
The turkey was dry. Monkey paw.
Sorry, Simpsons references.
Yeah.
Good episode. Actually, one of the students, just to touch on that, one of the students made me print that monkey's paw they were doing the story of the actual monkey's paw in language arts. And they wanted to have a visual representation of the monkey's paw. The only one I could find is the one from The Simpsons. So it only has 4 fingers.
Yeah.
Which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah.
He has a board with a nail in it. Yes, that is a great Simpsons reference.
Yeah.
Was it Khan or which one of the aliens was it? Krang? Is it Krang or
Kang and Kodos?
Kodos, that's right. Yeah.
Yes.
I always get them mixed up with the ones from Futurama, from Percy I-8.
Yes.
Omicron Percy I-8.
Yes.
Lur.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep. And his wife, Unda.
Yes.
Unda. Yeah.
And their son, Gur. Yeah.
Good times. But yeah, so I guess if you're going to take anything away from this evening, it's, as lighthearted as we're taking this topic, I suppose. It's kind of terrible to think about your demise, but it's something that you do need to eventually plan for. So do it now, so you don't have to worry about doing it later, or not have it done at all.
Right.
Yeah.
If you care for your relatives or the people that are going to have to deal with your stuff,
that's really the biggest thing.
If you want to torture them, that's up to you.
Yeah. That's really the biggest thing, is not creating more of a burden than already need, be in these situations.
And I'm not going to say to be like a vulture, but if you have somebody in your retro community who is getting up there in years, and they haven't had that conversation with you or anybody else in the group, if you're potentially, close to that person, and you can make that sort of, uncomfortable conversation, it's not a bad, especially if you have to be fairly good friends or fairly good acquaintances with them to do that, but it's not a bad thing to have a conversation about, because they probably haven't thought about it. and it's one of those things that when the time happens, it's beneficial for sure.
I'm also trying to downsize. My wife and I have a kind of a 5-year plan now. And
okay, comrade.
Yeah, exactly. And the grain production levels are always good, but we need to do something with the stuff.
Yeah.
We'll just annex the Ukraine and make them deal with it.
Yeah, she collects Hall China.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She probably has 1,000 pieces by now.
Wow. There you go. Give everything in your collection to Trina. The results are stream worthy.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it could be worse, Eric. She could have a giant collection of all of those like Emmett Kelly clowns.
Oh gosh.
Which I was contacted by someone who was looking for some eBay advice on how to sell those. And I was like, I'm not sure that there's a market for that, but we can look. And we went out and looked, and they were like, well, we spent $70, $80 a piece on some of these. And I was like, maybe
they don't have value though.
Yeah, but it was like, it's just people don't see value in it now. It's I mean, if they
I'm waiting for the Beanie Babies bubble to come back, right?
Oh gosh.
Right. Yeah. I was like the thing with the vintage computing right now is it's that valley, and we're on that uptick on the other side of the valley,
right?
And so it's now the worst time to do a lot of those things. But over time, some of the stuff may be more valuable, but again, it only lasts as long as people care.
Right,
so it's so that's another part of it, is that there will be like I can go to these conventions and stuff, and I see the amount of people with PDP 11s and things like that every year kind of pulls back a little bit, because that stuff is now ending up in these museums and things like that. It's less in collector hands. It's more in like institution hands.
Right.
So, and there will come a time on some of these other things, but keep in mind that Apple made millions of some of these items, and HP made millions of some of these items, and Compaq made millions of some of these items. So it might take a long time. It may be that like those items they were meant to be disposable anyway, that they may actually just not make it anyway. So, don't throw it all out in a barn and make it like a big terrible thing.
Don't try to short the collection market by throwing things into, like you said, a barn now for what might be worth something in the future.
Right.
There probably is another computer reset out there somewhere.
There was a smaller version in our community that just a nightmare. The city, when it changed to owners, inspected and said, you're gonna have to spend a lot of money and time and get this up to code, or it all goes. So it can be an issue.
Yeah,
don't bother collecting Chromebooks. I don't see a market there.
And actually,
some things are just not worth it.
We can kind of tie in some of that conversation we were having in the group chat there last week. In 30 years, I take a step back a little bit. So right now in the collector car market, 25, 30 years ago, 1950s were big. 1940s were huge. Duesenbergs were going for stupid amounts of money. Now today, those Duesenbergs are selling for half of what they were selling for. And it's because the people that cared about them are all dead now. And like you said,
it's just old.
It's just old. And so there's still some value there. Like they're not giving them away, but they're not selling for the millions of dollars or near millions of dollars they were selling for. But then again, you have things like Ferrari GT cars that are selling for $200 million.
Yeah.
So it's kind of weird. There are certain things that will always have value, and I guess there are certain things that like an Apple One will always be worth something. I think until the end of time.
Don't worry though, because a lot of that stuff that went into collector hands, like average people's hands, like they wanted their 82 Corvette and things like that. It's like they made millions of them, and it's kind of okay. But it's like some of those things that were rare to begin with are basically just being purchased as another insulation for investment. Yeah.
It's like buying a piece of art, basically. It's not a car; it's a piece of art. And to some extent, I think that's like when you see the Apple ones going for $1 million. The person buying that is buying it because
they have $1 million to burn.
Yeah, well, not even burn. They know that they can buy it for $1 million. That they've set the price value then.
Yes.
Because there's only so many of them, and they go the next time they go to sell it, it sells for $2 million. They've doubled their money, and they don't necessarily have to pay taxes on it.
Oh, the capital gains. Oh, those capital gains taxes. Ugh. As a poor person, I completely disapprove.
In Canada now, you get a mulligan for capital gains, so you get one thing where you don't have to claim capital gains. So you got to make.
Is this that like that time that you were up on that roof and Tim, whatever his name was like, how much do you trust your wife? It's like when Andy Dufresne had you up on that roof that one time. It was like, how much do you trust your wife? Yeah. Cool. I can't remember Tim Robbins.
I just want two beers for each of my crew.
Yeah, just wanted 2 beers.
Yep.
But yeah, so I foresee that there will be things that will be still intrinsically valuable in this hobby in 30 years. But yeah, Chromebooks I don't think are going to be one of them.
But you never know either.
You never know. The big thing that I think will be the failure of those particular anybody looking for nostalgic feelings towards that is the fact that it's all software as a service.
Yeah.
So
right. The stuff that's required to make that work. If that's
such
a
a
cloud turns off, then that's done. Yeah.
And to get to the point where it is functioning, you would have to invest so much more time in it than it is just to turn an Apple II on and plug a floppy emu into it, and now I can play some Load Runner, right?
Yeah.
Like the cost, the barrier to entry are quite low when it comes to some of the older stuff versus the more modern stuff. Yeah.
Well, as the old saying goes, it's not made like it used to be.
Right.
And that really applies because stuff's even more and more cheaply made, and to be specific to disposable, not just things are used to be. But
you remember
everything now is engineered.
You remember in the 90s, it was a race to the bottom. It was who could sell the cheapest computer first.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And we kind of never really stopped. And at that point, then the computer became an appliance. So it was like buying a refrigerator or buying a washer or dryer.
And they all are planned to die. Like buying if you're going to buy an appliance like a washing machine, you want to try to figure out some way to get a commercial one,
right?
That's got stupid dials on it, doesn't have a logic board because it doesn't save energy, and do that.
100%.
And there are exceptions, Naboo.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But again,
how long did it take them to have a warehouse of those things?
To randomly show up.
Then to sell them for $100 a piece or whatever it was. Yeah. It's like,
well, my take on that is that's one of the rare exceptions that you found a whole warehouse full. How many Naboos do you see in the wild that just randomly came up for sale that somebody actually had at their house?
It was only from that.
I've never heard of any. So I think that's going to be the same thing with a lot of things like Chromebooks and things like that. Yeah. Like people aren't going to hang on to them just to hang on to them because they might be worth something one day. I think
even if they did,
stuff like that's likely to be chucked
because it's cloud based.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. You're going to turn it on and be like, oh yeah, remember Chromebooks? Oh right, this is not compatible with my new Wi-Fi. Oh well.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Oh well, that's a big thing with all the old machines anyway, where it's like they're stuck in an era where none of the Wi-Fi technology is the same, or you have to have some compromised access point on your network to be able to do that stuff.
You could do MAC address filtering.
Game Boy DS's where it has to have weep or something like that to be able to work
instead of WPA.
And my eldest daughter set up her own little dark net for it that wasn't connected to anything, just so that she could do stuff with it. But.
And that's kind of some of the fun stuff that still kind of works. But I feel like that era, so I'm going to say 2010. I'm going to make that the line in the sand for me. 2010. Anything that was cloud based before 2010, you can probably still hobbit together in some way to make it function once that system shuts down. But anything after that, because it became so ingrained and it was it was all cloud based. It wasn't just some stuff on the machine, some stuff in the cloud.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very difficult to, and I hope it isn't, but I think that's where something like an emulator is going to step in. I think people will just create a emulated.
Look at what RetroTech Chris did recently with all those laptops he got. He set up a business network with business applications. There'll be people that'll do that kind of thing. Usagi Electric doing the stuff he's doing to set up, I've got this old networked serial interface doohickey from his video today where he set it up so he could shell SSH into his
telnet
computer. So there'll be people that do that, and there'll be people that work with the museums and that kind of thing. But
and I think
simulation.
Do you think people will be doing the Global Talk server for Marcintosh 20 years from now?
I know I'll be
if there's people still around.
Yeah,
I mean, but that's easy though, because you could literally just
do it in emulator.
You could do it through emulation now, so it's you're not even locked in on hardware. So.
True.
Ron,
it helps.
Will we ever see that working on the Pico Micromac?
No.
Okay.
No.
Unlikely. Because then you would have to add so much. It's no longer.
Yes, it's one of those things where there's a point of diminishing returns. It's like if you there is a point where you can just get a Pi
W or whatever and
Pi or Pico W or whatever. Not Pico anything, but
Pi Zero,
Raspberry Pi W
Zero,
Pi Zero. Okay. And it's like there it is, and it doesn't boot straight in. I mean, you can totally get a distribution that just it boots the Linux for a second, and then it's boots your Macintosh. And you can do whatever you want. You can network. You can have as much RAM, emulate whatever you want to emulate, and all that type of stuff. So
cool. And like I said, I think that's where it's headed. That for a lot of this newer stuff, I think that will all be a lot of emulation.
Yeah.
And so Francois says about the vendors ought to have to publish their software at some point as well. That types in a lot of what Ryan was talking about the software as a service type setups that everybody's doing now. Like anything that's online based, once those servers get shut down, it's not going to work anymore at that point.
And there is a push to save games, which I think might kind of also fall onto software eventually. But the idea that you're going to be able to potentially have some law that says once an IP or once something has become not valuable anymore, it gets dumped on the internet for other people to do stuff.
I'm doing my Veronica face.
Okay, go ahead.
Because a lot of those things, there are efforts. So like Star Wars Galaxies is a really great example of that, because what people did is that game was around for quite a number of years. People just sniffed enough traffic of the game to figure out how to simulate the server on the back end to do all the stuff. So
Wireshark.
They basically they sniffed enough traffic. It's the same thing with there's a service that ran in Japan for the Super Nintendo.
Yes.
That was basically through the cable system. It would put games down on your machine.
And we had it for Genesis.
They sniffed enough of that they figured out how to do that too. So
we had the Sega channel here, and you could, if you had a Genesis, you could log into the Sega channel and download rent games.
Didn't the Dreamcast have something similar?
I think it's
Sega Dreamcast. They had like an online service thing.
You could just dial up with Dreamcast. But I mean, you think about like World of Warcraft. That came out in 2004. Pretty sure private servers for World of Warcraft came out in like 2006.
Oh, they still exist. So they're still pretty popular.
They figured it out pretty early on how to make their own servers. So I think that should be not hindered, if that makes sense. Like people shouldn't get in trouble for doing that unless they're trying to cheat or hack or do it for malicious purposes. But if they're just doing it for preservation, it should be allowed.
Yes,
I agree.
I would agree with this.
Yeah. And like RetroTech Chris said, but a lot of the older stuff was also unencrypted. Unencrypted.
That is very
That's
true.
true. That's true.
So that made it a lot easier. And so yeah, you're going to get to some of that newer stuff is going to be a lot harder to figure out because of the encryption used. Right.
Yeah.
But quantum computing will fix that. We'll be able to unlock things in nanoseconds.
Yes, I went out. I talked to Chad in the break room the other day, and I just asked him to vibe code me up a server for something, and he did it. Yay!
Unrelated, your bank account is now 0 because hackers got in through the 14 ports that were left open.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that's, you know what though, it was worth it. It was worth it to play golf with friends again.
Version 1 of Minecraft. It was great.
Yeah, right.
Flash Shockwave and Flash Player are coming back too.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yeah. Penny Arcade. We're playing a lot of Penny Arcade. Good times.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, we're right about the hour mark here now. Does anybody have any final thoughts or things they want to cover before we finish up?
I think the most important thing is it's now 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
I told you last night. No.
Yes. Keep telling you no.
Do we want to talk about gets or what we're working on or anything?
Yeah, we can. Sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Show us what you've got.
Go on, Eric.
I got an early Christmas present.
A haircut and a shave.
Well, that too.
2 bits.
Yes.
Oh,
I like that.
nice.
That's a Rigel. Yeah.
Let's make you bigger. Hold on.
That's awesome.
Now I got to learn how to use it.
You got the probe?
I got 4 probes.
Listen.
Nice.
That's between him and we don't talk about that. This is a family channel.
I can probe 4 things.
Do you want Trina? Because this is how we get Trina.
The Probulator 5000 there.
But it was a deal. It was one of the Black Friday deals. Got it with 4 probes, and I think it was like $250 altogether.
Wow,
that's not bad at all.
Joe said when he bought his years ago, it was like $2,000. So it was a decent deal.
And does that have video out? Does that allow you to?
Well, I don't know. I haven't even read the manual on it yet. So I think it does. I think it's got a Ethernet port, so you can.
Rigel's a good brand.
Stuff with it that way too.
Right.
Anything but Kaiweets.
And apparently there's a hack that you can do to enable the advanced features.
Okay.
Awesome.
So
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So that was an early. My wife's like, "What do you want?" And I said, "This."
That makes it easy.
I'm just gonna go ahead and order it for you.
Nice.
That makes it easy.
Yeah,
I think it's great to learn a new skill of any kind, especially since you've never used a skill scope. I think that's great. I think it's great to learn new things.
I actually have a need for it too right now because I've got that Apple IIc that you sent me, and I'm pretty sure it's got bad memory chips on it because you get the random characters when you boot it up on the
Let me
screen.
know. I've got another 2C on the shelf if you need it.
But this gives me something to learn how to probe and figure out what's going on.
I have a theory. It's MT RAM, right?
It probably. I haven't opened it yet. I just turned it on once and checked it and said, "Yep, it boot." Oh yeah, there's some extra characters on the screen.
That would be great for a YouTube video.
It would.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Trina's been on me about not doing anything, but it's hard to program in YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And most of what I've been doing lately is programming.
Fair enough.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Cool. Who's next?
Brian?
I have no gets. I'm not in my house still.
Oh, yeah.
I actually know. I can show you. I
can
can show you a funny video if you would like to see.
Oh
a funny video.
Yeah, let's see it. Does it? When you play it, is it going to play like the little, make the little like the little cartoon thing?
I was hoping it was going to do the Price is Right.
Oh no!
Oh gosh!
All right, so this is live or not live. This is from my security camera a couple of nights ago. My painter is out on the step having a cigarette. I popped out to go to the mail and have a chat with him. And of course, I'm not paying attention while on my phone, which of course leads to shenanigans. And and there we go.
Oh. Well, at least he helped you up instead of kicking you.
Oh yes, yeah. No, Sean's good people. Anyway, that's
that makes me hurt.
That's why my back is pretty bad today.
Well, sorry about your back.
Oh, it's okay. It's all good. Robaxacin and some scotch. And I'm good to go.
Oh my gosh.
I will say we had our staff Christmas party there last weekend, and we had a white elephant, or a, I don't know what you call it. It was
that's what we call it.
Yeah. So they put it under the tree.
Dirty Santa.
Sure. Yeah.
Have to steal from others.
Not Dirty Sanchez. That's completely different.
Oh no, that's different.
Anyway, you have to steal from each other and stuff. So every year I usually buy you're supposed to pay $25, but I bought a bottle of scotch. It was like $50. I put it under the tree, and it was my best year for like sniping, and I won my bottle of scotch back.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I went home with the same scotch that I came with. So
that's awesome.
I got stuck with the we do it at the office, and we had this one gift that somebody gets stuck with each year. It's some singing Santa, or not Santa, snowman or something.
Okay.
Another company I worked at, it was a chia pet.
Okay.
Well, at the company I used to work at, yeah, the company I used to work at, they had to explain it to me because, so I'm like, chia pet, anyway. But the owner of the company whoever got stuck with it would give them a gift certificate for something, so that, to make up for it.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's nice.
They don't do it in my current office though. So I decided, since I got stuck with the stupid singing Santa or snowman, that I would bring a gift, and that way when someone got stuck with it, I'd hand them that gift.
No, nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Frank, do you have anything to show us?
The only thing I got this week was an Atari ST Mega 4 that had a Mega Drive, hard drive, with it. It's over on the other side of the shed, but I got it from somebody a couple hours from here. They had a family member, their dad had passed away, and him and his brother were getting rid of stuff, and they had posted it on Atari Age forum.
Cool.
And I messaged, I was like, oh yeah, I'm interested in the hard drive. I was like, yeah, where are you located? He's like, oh, out in Albany. I was like, oh, that's only like 2 hours from me. So I said,
nice.
He met me halfway, so I only drove about an hour and 15 minutes or so.
Nice.
And met him earlier this week and picked it up, and everything's functional. I bought the whole thing, monitor, keyboard, like the whole setup. It came with a printer, an Atari printer, and everything.
Nice.
So yeah, that's the only thing I feel like I got this week. I ordered some things, but that's the only thing that came in this week that I can remember was that.
Cool.
Ron?
Yes. Actually, something really fun. Because again, I've said this a couple times, and I'll say it again. There appears to be a little bit of a lull in the PC big box collecting hobby. Okay, there appears to be a little lull right now where you can pick up things at a better price than what you could maybe last year at this time. It depends on what you're looking for, of course, but it appears that people have either are starting to get out, or maybe like upgrading and selling some of their ones that aren't as nice or whatever, because there's been a couple of things that I've picked up that I've gotten really good deals on, and so I wanted to show one of those things off. So now I've had this for a little bit. This is my my older copy of Monkey Island. This is, if you are somehow not familiar with this game, as soon as the podcast ends, you need to immediately go and play this game. This is
a great game.
This is a really, really great game. This is Ron Gilbert and a lot of LucasArts people kind of in those days. This is like just a really, really fun game. And this right here, this is the older version. This is the IBM PC 16 color version. So this is like EGA basically. So it does say here on the box though that it will run on your VGA. So this has a couple of different stickers, and that was something that LucasArts was famous for. Is it's got this band that basically will let you don't have to print a new box. You can just put a new sticker on that reflects whatever upgrade you've done. So this box is like the original box, but it has a band on it that just shows that this is the 16 color version of the game. So, MCGA, CGA, EGA, all that.
They had the same band for Amiga too.
Yeah. And Commodore 64 and
Macintosh
Atari and Mac and But anyway, this is the older game. So the other day on Facebook Marketplace, or actually no, about 3 or 4 months ago, there was somebody that had a really good deal on a copy of Monkey Island that was different than mine. So I reached out to them because I wanted to buy their copy, and they were like, yeah, no problem, I'll sell it to you, but I'm busy right now and I'll get back with you. And I'm like, okay. So months went by, and then just the other day he was like, oh yeah, I'm ready to sell. And I'm like, super. So I now have 2 copies of Monkey Island, but this is the older 256 color version.
Oh, cool.
So this is, and it's got this beautiful 256 color VGA version sticker. This was distributed a little bit differently. This does not have there's another sticker that kind of goes up here in the corner because it was distributed by Electronic Arts.
Okay.
They have a little sticker there, or at least that's where it ended up on this copy. But in any case, no, this is really neat. This is the VGA version. It's got the big replacement sticker because eventually you can see by the size of the stickers that they were like, it shows underneath, but this here you can feel it. There's not a sticker underneath. So this is late in the game. It's mostly complete, and for whatever reason he was like, hey, I'm putting a bonus in there for you. He sent me a copy of Escape from Monkey Island, which is the 3rd game in the series, which or I'm sorry, no, it is the 4th game in the series, but people don't like this game as much. But so it now means that I've got the version on 5 1/4. I've got the version, I think the other version is on, I just have them in this box, but on 3 1/2. But it's so funny because it's they're not like the color. It's like, what are you doing in there? Get back in there. But and the person I bought this from a long time ago also the CD version.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
They must have had it in the box and they forgot about it. But this is like such a fun era. You got like the little Dial-A-Pirate like for the copy protection and all of that. So
cool.
That's really it. That's all I got.
That's awesome though.
Yeah, but I love these games. I've been doing a lot of collecting on all this, so it's just kind of nice to have the EGA and the VGA version.
So, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
The Gathering. The name of my next game.
Yeah.
Hey Dave, how are you?
Cool. Well, gentlemen, that's it. I guess we will close out the stream. Any last words of wisdom?
We will meet again, but it will be after the big holiday. There are a couple of big holidays.
Yeah.
So if you are someone who whatever it is that you celebrate this time of year,
enjoy.
We hope that you enjoy doing so and stay safe. And we'll come back and meet us again when we're all back together again.
Sounds like a plan.
Happy Festivus.
Yes. When we get back, we will air grievances. Good night, everybody.
Good night.